Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Today we're going to be looking at a handful of cards. I believe we're looking at 5 of them today. All the cards we're focusing on today will have dice associated with them as well. So we're starting off here with Force Protection. I'm running a couple of these in my Rey and Qui-Gon deck, but it costs 3 resources. It has a 1 disrupt side, a 1 discard side, a 1 resource side, 2 special sides, and a blank. So a third of the die is specials, which is pretty cool because you can have basically like a 33% chance to roll the special. Blue characters only, and the special is you get 3 shields to your characters distributed as you wish. So I'm using this in that with Rey and Qui-Gon of Qui-Gon's ability, which states before he receives 1 or more shields, he can remove a shield to deal 1 damage to a character. So let's say I have 1 shield on him and I get the special, I can resolve this, remove a shield from Qui-Gon to deal 1 damage, put a shield on him from this and put the other 2 either on him or on Rey or any combination. Another thing that's nice about this is the shields can be distributed. Is normally when you roll a shield die, let's say it's 2 shields and you resolve it, those 2 shields have to go to 1 character. Diplomatic immunity does let you split shields, but this will also when it says distributed as you wish, that's nice because you could shield up 2 characters. If you could do 2 on Rey and 1 on Qui-Gon, you could all put all 3 on either one of them, and so on. And again, also one nice thing about this is a nice placeholder card for your lightsabers. So let's say you don't draw your lightsabers right away, but you still end up getting like an extra resource on your first turn or first round. Can resolve that. Not resolve it, but pay the 3 resources to attach force protection, and then later once you draw the lightsaber, let's say Luke's lightsaber or just the regular generic lightsaber, you can replace force protection with the lightsaber. So you discard force protection, you get rid of the die, and you put the lightsaber on them instead. And if you do that, you're going to be paying 0 resources because you're replacing a 3-cost upgrade with another 3-cost upgrade. So it's a good way to like get it out, use it for a little bit, and then once you get your lightsabers, just replace them. We'll be right back. I believe we're going to be looking at the Jedi Robes. So we'll be right back with Jedi Robes. Alright, and here we are with the Jedi Robes. You get a couple of these in the starter decks, and they also are available in booster boxes as well. And this is another pretty good upgrade. I really like it. It costs 2. So 2 resources. Die is 1 focus, another 1 focus, disrupt, resource, plus 1 resource, and a blank. And after you play this upgrade, give the attached character 1 shield, or 2 shields instead if it's the first round of the game. I really like playing this. If I draw this in my opening hand, I have this in my Rey and Qui-Gon deck as well. So if I end up drawing this in my opening hand, I will generally play it, either on one of them. If I draw both, I'll play one, usually on Qui-Gon first. If I have the second one, I'll try to resolve some resources to get one on Rey as well. But as long as you get them on your characters in the first round, you get 2 shields instead of 1, which is pretty nice. Um, the die is good. I like that it has 2 focus sides. It also has a resource side and a +1 resource side. If you roll it and you get an unmodified resource side plus the +1 here, you can claim it for 2 resources. Resolve those dice. Use those 2 resources to play the other Jedi Robe. But this is also a good upgrade early in the game, not just because of the shields, but because later in the game when you start drawing into your more powerful upgrades, you can then replace them with something else. So if you have something like 1 of the Force, which we'll be getting to a little bit later in the video, you can get that out for 2 if you replace the robes with it, because it costs 4 for one of the Force, 2 for the robes, so you're only going to be paying the difference on that. So I really like Jedi Robes early in the game, and they make a good card to replace or get to become replaced by something a little more powerful. But the focus sides are nice because you can change the results of some of your dice to something more beneficial. Also, early in the game, if you get the disruption, you can kind of mess with your opponent's strategy by having them discard a resource or just throw a resource away. Pretty good card. I like that. You get a couple of these into starter sets, and then I've opened a few more in booster boxes. But I'm running 2 of these in my Rey and Qui-Gon deck as well. I think they're a pretty good upgrade, especially if you can get them out in the first round. We'll be right back we're going to be taking a look at Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So one of the legendary lightsabers, the other one being Kylo Ren, which we already looked at, but we're going to be looking at Luke's in just a moment. Here we are with Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So this is another hero upgrade. Costs 3 resources. It's a unique, so you can only have one of it out at a time. But has a die of 3 melee damage at the cost of 1 resource, a +3 melee damage, 2 shields, a resource, a special, and a blank. And again, blue characters only. And the special is give a character 2 shields or deal 2 unblockable damage to a character. Normally, I always go with the unblockable damage, but you can use the shields again if you're playing with something like Qui-Gon, where you can resolve the special on this to get shields. He uses his ability to take a shield away from him to deal 1 damage. But the damage size on this die are very good. I think 3 damage for 1 resource is pretty good. It's not that expensive, so just 1 resource, you can hit something for 3. But also, it has a pretty strong modified side, so usually I attach this to Qui-Gon and roll him out because he's rolling. He has some pretty good melee damage on his die as well. So you're probably going to roll some unmodified damage with Qui-Gon. If you roll the modified damage from this, let's say you roll 2 with Qui-Gon, 3 with this, you can then hit something for 5. Also special. So if you're playing, if you're running blue and yellow, you can trigger cunning off of this as well. So trigger a special on cunning, and it's going to either give the character 2 shields or hit something for 2 unblockable damage. I normally pretty much always go with the damage. I think I have plenty of other ways to get shields, so I'm probably not going to be using this for shields generally, at least a special. If I happen to roll the shield side, I might use the shields there, especially with Qui-Gon for that ability. But if I roll the special, I'm pretty much always going to go with the 2 unblockable damage, because if their character is shielded up and only has a couple health left, this will defeat that character, because the unblockable damage basically penetrates shields. It doesn't take the shields off, but it makes the shields not be able to block that damage. And again, this costs 3 resources. So like I said earlier in the video, you can have force protection on there or something else that costs 3 and play this on top of it, replacing it, and then not have it, basically getting the lightsaber out essentially for free. So it's a pretty cool die. I like that it also does resources and it also does shields. So it does offer a little bit of protection from some enemies' attacks if you're using the shield side, and also you can always just get resources out of it. But one nice thing is if you had the Jedi robes and you landed on a focus side, you can then focus this lightsaber die into maybe one of the damage sides. If you have other unmodified damage, you might want to go with the +3. Or if you just want to hit something for 3 damage, you can put it to the 3 damage for a resource. You still have to pay the resource to do that, but that's an option. Or you can just put it on the special and do the 2 unblockable damage or the 2 shields. Again, I'm always going to go with the damage generally. I don't think there would be any reason to really go with the shields unless your character really, really needed shields. But I usually run this in decks that have plenty of other ways to get shields, and I'm not really hurting to get shields. So the 2 unblockable damage on this is always what I'm going to go with. We're going to take a look at one of the Force next, so we'll be right back with that card as well. All right, and here we are with one with the Force. This is one of my favorite upgrades. I pretty much run this in any deck I'm running that is using blue characters, or hero blue characters, I should say. So 4 resources, a little on the expensive side, but you can kind of mitigate that by replacing upgrades. So if you have a 2-cost upgrade, you play this, you only have to pay 2 to do this. If you do it for a 3-cost upgrade, you only have to pay 1. But it has a very strong die, so it has 3 range damage. Normally, I don't like mixing damage, but since this is an ability, I'm playing this more for the focus and the disrupt sides than I am for the range damage. So it has 3 range damage, it has a 2 focus side, a 3 focus side, 3 disrupt, 2 shield, and 2 resources, and it also has an ability. So blue characters only, but before the attached character is defeated, this upgrade becomes a support for the rest of the game. So once the character that this is on gets defeated, you still get to keep this out as a support. So even after that character is gone, this die will remain with you, so you can still roll it in, and hopefully to get those. Let's say you had 2 blue characters. Say I usually put this on Qui-Gon. Usually put it on Qui-Gon. When he gets defeated, I'll have this die out so I can roll it, and then if I have raised dice out, I can use the focus sides on one of the Force to change her dice to be more beneficial. Maybe because Rey's dice are not particularly great. It it's the focus on this is very good with actually changing her results to something that are going to be good. A lot of times Rey has doesn't have a lot of great damage, at least on her own dice. There's a lot of her sides that are modified, so you can change the unmodified sides to just be normal sides with this. And I think it's very thematic because the character gets defeated and essentially becomes a Force Ghost. But it also has, like I said, 3 damage. 3 range damage is pretty good. It's not modified, so you can just straight up resolve that without having to have any other dice associated with it. It has 2 focus sides, 1 for 2, 1 for 3. Again, 3 resource disruption is pretty big as well because you're only getting 2 resources per turn plus resources that you resolve for. So if you're able to take away 3 of those resources with 1 die, that's pretty good. Shields are nice too, especially if you're running with Qui-Gon and he's still alive. So this essentially attaches to the character, and then when they get defeated, it becomes the support. But you're able to get shields on him for his ability, and then also 2 resources is also really good. This die is just really amazing all around. Um, Especially since after the character is defeated, you still get to keep that die and still get to keep rolling it and using the focuses and all that other stuff. For cost, so it's a bit costly, but like I said earlier, you can reduce that by just replacing an older upgrade with this. So if you replace a robes, you're paying 2. You replace force protection, you're paying 1. Replace a lightsaber with this, you're paying 1. Or if you just have 4, you can straight up just pay the 4 and have it on there. And the amazing thing is, normally when the character is defeated, all their upgrades go away. Not here. This one will stay out as its own little thing, which you can just roll in. It is a separate action to roll it, so you can roll like your character, and then on another action roll this. You're not gonna be able to roll them all together because this thing now is kind of like it's kind of separate, so it's out of the way. But you can still roll. Like let's say you rolled really bad with Rey, roll 1 of the Force. Then you go to resolve that, and be like, all right, I'm gonna focus here, focus here, focus here. And then if you have ways to take additional actions, you can just focus, and then resolve whatever you just focused into. So this is a very strong card, one of the best in the game. I have 2 of these in my Rey and Qui-Gon deck, and they're always fun to play with because you get a lot of focus. Um, Basically has everything else. The only thing it's really missing is discard. So if you're not running a mill deck, if you're running a mill deck, this might not be the best result. But even if you are, it never hurts to have this because you can just focus into your mill sides as well. So something like maybe like a red-blue mill, which I'm not sure what characters would be well with that. I know Akbar is good for red, and maybe Rey does have a couple mill sides as well. So that's one of the Force, one of the best cards I think in the game so far. We're going to take a look at BB-8, and he is going to be our final card for the day. So we'll be right back with BB-8. And here we are with BB-8. BB-8 is a hero card. He's a support, so he goes out and rolls in on his own. But he just costs 1 resource. His die, he has a focus, a disrupt, a shield, a resource, a special, and a blank. And a special is reroll this die. So you reroll the BB-8 die and one of your other dice, and then do not remove this die from the pool after rerolling it. So basically, you claim the special on BB-8, not claim, but resolve the special on BB-8 to reroll both BB-8 and something else, and then BB-8's die will stay out as well. The only time you have to pull BB-8's die away is if you resolve one of the other sides of it. So if you resolve the focus, disrupt, shield, or resource side, you then put that die back on the card. But if you get the special, you can reroll another die, and BB-8's die also gets to stay out, which is pretty good because you can reroll. Let's say you rolled poorly on a character die, you can reroll that die plus BB-8 and hopefully get a better result on the character, and then maybe something else on BB-8's die as well. I like that he does 4 different things, so he can focus, disrupt, shield, and get resources. He's very versatile, so you can use him in plenty of different builds. And then the ability to reroll something that's bad and then keep BB-8 out is pretty good. So let's say you rerolled BB-8 and you got a resource, and you rerolled something else and got a +1 resource. Now you have 2 resources you can claim. Or if you rerolled BB-8 and something else, and BB-8 landed on a special again, could then reroll something else that's bad and resolve BB-8 to reroll and keep it out. So BB-8, and also the cost is very low for a support. So I think it's pretty cool to have. You can get him out. turn one or round one, roll him in, roll in a character, and then maybe use his special or use his focus to change some results around. He's very strong, actually, I think. I don't have him in my current deck because I'm mostly playing off on getting shields and things and a lot of focus. BB-8 does have focus. Oh, also he is a unique, so you can only have one of him out at a time. You can still run two of it in your deck though. So if you roll one out and let's say for some reason in ATS he blows it up, you can still play another one. But BB-8's a pretty good card. I have several of them, but the one resource cost on him is really nice because you can get him out, maybe even resolve him for a resource. Then have two resources. You can then throw out Jedi Robes and get two shields on the character that it's attached to still. So BB-8 can definitely do a lot of different things. And also he's got that the resource disruption, so you can kind of mess with your opponent's strategies with him as well. So that's going to do it for today's video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow we will be looking at Race Staff, Finn, Han Solo, one of the best, Hired Gun, and Padme Amidala. We'll be looking at all of them tomorrow. We're going to be probably upping this to 5 cards per video now, just so we can burn through these a little bit quicker to get to the events and the event cards and all that, and the locations. So we'll be doing these again daily, at least Monday through Friday. So that'd be 25 cards per week at least for now, and hopefully get through this. And then when Spirit of Rebellion comes out, we'll be doing the same thing. We'll be going through the cards and dice for that. But that's going to do it for today. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.